we still somehow just want to believe that we're just the best country, and that really prevents us from looking at reality. Now the governments are more and more and more simply the gatekeepers for the multinational corporations, the economic interest, and what we see is a worldwide movement that is very similar to what is going on here. In other words, while we promote this globalization, it is only for goods and economic intellectual property and the elite, while we are being herded into believing that we've got to stop people at our borders and that we have a right to protect our borders. And so we are using the illegal alien that is demonized in such a way in order to be able to militarize our entire society, so that although the direct and immediate impact of all of this is on the immigrant dying in the desert, we can see now evidence that this militarization move has gone into the interior, and we have seen a dramatic, unprecedented increase in border enforcement, military type of enforcement, and increasingly, and well, almost entirely privatized, with military contractors flooding to the desert, applying for every contract possible, billions of dollars at stake. You have companies like Boeing, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Blackwater, Wackenhut Geo Group, all of these contractors that are military type contractors are now being utilized to militarize this border. A lot of people think of militarization, they think of the wall, the guns, the Border Patrol agents, sensors, and the virtual wall. However, the least known aspect of it is the criminalization, which is part of this militarization. So, for example, in Tucson, Arizona, the U.S. District Court, the federal court, the most expensive court in the United States of America, pays $13 million per month to Corrections Corporation of America, a Tennessee-based corporation that has mushroomed and profited immensely since 9/11, and very much so in the state of Arizona, so much that they've created an Arizona division. We pay them $13 million, not a year, but per month, to house 70 men and women that we criminalize en masse in 1 hour. That's not to talk about the 20 million or so per month it costs to have the court function, pay its lawyers, pay the prosecution, and all of it's $20 to $22 million per month. Here in the Tucson sector, if you're detected and you're arrested, you are either placed in civil administrative proceedings, in other words, the deportation or removal proceeding. You don't have a right to a lawyer at all because they deem it not punitive. It's not a criminal case. It's not punitive. It's civil. So you have no right to an attorney, even though the services, ICE and Border Patrol, are represented by a lawyer. So these individuals are arrested, processed, either made to sign what's called a voluntary departure. It's not voluntary, but you don't go to a formal court. And then a whole other slew of people are sent to formal deportation proceedings. They don't have a right to a lawyer. And a growing percentage of it is what we see in the federal court. Basically, we see in a federal court in Tucson, 7% only of those people that are arrested on a daily basis. And we pick 70 people just willy-nilly to fill this courtroom, 70 people, and those individuals are charged with the criminal offense of illegal entry. All the niceties of our legal system are there. They're given a lawyer, they're read their constitutional rights, they waive their rights, they're told of their offense, They establish a factual basis for the offense, they plead guilty, and are sentenced to a private prison within a span of an hour. And I'm a criminal defense attorney, and that's an abomination of our criminal justice system. But so those 7% that are prosecuted on a daily basis, those are the individuals that we're paying $13 million a month to incarcerate. That is separate and apart from what we pay CCA in Eloy and Florence and the prisons that they're building and the local jails that they're using and paying $94 a day per inmate. We are paying that in addition to the $13 million that we pay to criminalize the immigrant as well. And so it's almost mind-boggling, the money that is being spent if you look at the entirety of this move to militarize borders and its subsequent growth into the interior.